Hello, today's video on 2021 workplace trends aims to inspire your organization to step outside of the comfort zone of outdated management practices and beliefs about work. Because let's face it, work has been forever changed. Hi, Lisa Jackson here, founder and principal of Culture Pros, where we help companies create change for the good of people, for the good of society, and for good of growth and sustainability. Today, I'm sharing 5 work trends for 2021 that I've spent a lot of time researching. Put into practice, these underpin agility in the rapidly increasing scale of change every company is experiencing. So may the best of us evolve, and here we go. Trend number 1, make innovation a core strategy. 95% of economic profit is earned by the top 20% of companies. According to a recent study on trends by McKinsey, 50% of annual company revenues across a range of industries are derived from new products launched within the past 3 years. So what does it take to amplify creativity? I'm going to speak more on this specifically in the culture change trend a bit later in this video. Trend number 2, flexibility for well-being. Deloitte's 2020 Human Capital Study cites well-being as the top-ranked trend. 80% of nearly 9,000 survey respondents identified it as important or very important to the organization's success. Organizations that integrate well-being into the design of work at the individual, team, and organizational levels, they're going to be the ones to build a sustainable future where workers can feel good and perform at their best. So what does design for worker well-being look like? A few key elements. First of all, remember that not everyone is thriving in the work from home era. I've heard multiple stories from clients this year about how conflict and bullying didn't stop when the offices went vacant. It just took on more subtle forms. Being left out of meetings or a Slack thread on a particular project. No opportunity for one-on-ones with one's manager for months. Surveys on employee feedback resulting in no changes. And demands to return to the office before COVID was under control, regardless of home life challenges. These kind of things really do set people on edge and they start to get paranoid. As for the remote work experience, we have learned a lot. And in most companies, productivity remains steady or rose. Don't ditch your commercial lease yet though. 100% remote work is not the best solution for everyone. Secondly, the future is about listening and designing teams first and foremost for camaraderie and creativity. Well-being happens in community. It means supporting natural variances in the productivity makeup of individuals, like the time of day, the location, the interaction with inspiring role models, or a blend of all of these. But we need mental and emotional policies that support worker well-being, regular check-ins from managers, pulse checks from the company that are written surveys so people can speak anonymously, teams that are developed with caring for each other even when there's differences at the core. Setting aside time for fun and play, even if it's the first minute of your Zoom meeting. Weekly encouraging communications from your CEO and top leaders really helps people to figure out what supports them, and that leads to a feeling of well-being. Ask your people. They'll tell you what they need. Ask, and implement their input. Trend number 3 is confidence in leadership. Dictionary.com defines confidence as full trust, belief in the powers, trustworthiness, or reliability of a person or thing. I invite you to introduce this as a discussion topic. What creates trust and confidence in leadership here within our executive and management ranks in our company? This is a very, very powerful conversation, and it's a great time of year to do it, especially if it's done with the right ground rules and there are changes that are implemented as a result. I've often facilitated a version using Patrick Lencioni's 5 dysfunctions of a team pyramid, showing how trust is the foundation of what actually creates accountability and results. Even one bad actor in an organization, no matter how healthy you think your culture is, can destroy confidence in leadership. In many organizations, these leaders remain unchecked because of their results, or technical contributions are big, or they just simply have a skill set that is so necessary that people overlook. Millennials, Gen Z demand leaders who support good teamwork, the ability to speak up, and leaders who build safety emotionally and physically at work. So tips for increasing confidence in leadership. First and foremost, number one, measure it. Not by their abilities, by the perceptions of those they serve. Ensure your survey people anonymously can see your data by manager and act on the results. Number two, discuss and decide how are core values brought to life through behavior. Most are just posters on the walls, not anchored by any specific behaviors that are shored up with consequences. And that's what ensures bad leaders are not left in place for years. Number three, who you promote and how you promote is what fosters true trust in leadership ultimately. Of course, sometimes a mistake happens, but as the chief people officer for a successful tech company once said to me, there's no way anyone in this company will be promoted into or remain in management who is not visibly teaching, living, and upholding our core values consistently. Trend number four, inclusion and diversity from vision to reality. One of the most powerful and courageous actions of our time is making it a business norm to stand for people from all walks of life. By the way, if ever an opportunity was ripe for human resource departments to claim their long desired role as a full-fledged business partner, it is in the area of providing concrete strategies, education, and training to make diversity, inclusion, and equity a reality via people practices. This doesn't just mean promoting more people of color, although that's one great goal, since so many talented people are still overlooked due to racism, whether it's overt or under the radar. Bottom line, it is time for courageous changes in the systems and attitudes that enable meaningful, true and lasting equity, diversity, and inclusiveness in business. Couple concrete tips to move the needle on DEI initiatives. First of all, provide educational tools and strategies in all management and leadership classes that you teach around eliminating, first and foremost, the mindset of discrimination. This is not about eliminating bias, which is human. It's rather choosing a mindset that is supported by cultural practices that are colorblind in hiring, in promoting, and managing people. Secondly, organizing listening forums to listen to your people. Let them have a say, and then make changes based on what you hear. The fifth and final trend I'm sharing today is bold cultural change. Earlier, I cited Deloitte Human Capital Trends Report from 2020. They say 70% of companies are either undertaking or experimenting with bold moves in the arena of cultural change. This involves all the above trends, but in particular, it means intentionally stepping out of your comfort zone because, as McKinsey said, we're in a new paradigm of work. Yet, we're still operating with 250 years old management practices. So it's time to dig deep and to align your workplace environment and policies to the modern era of work. Thanks for listening today. I hope you in the future on videos on great workplaces that unleash people, performance, and change for good. Cheers.